This is the second day after getting fired, and I wanted to check in and share some of my thoughts and feelings. I don't know. Today I feel absolutely fine. I think because it's Saturday and I'm doing on a Saturday what I would normally be doing on a Saturday. So, like, the impact is really not felt like that on this day, but it did make me think about what it is, the whole reason why I wanted to have this job in the first place, and how when I got the job I knew that it was, temporary, and I actually stayed longer than I had initially planned, but I feel like it was like the perfect amount of time, honestly. So like I said in the other video, I've been an herbalist for over 20 years, but it wasn't a business for me until like about 6-7 years ago. And the business, was growing. It was, like a little infancy, and then it started to grow. And I started to grow the herbs. Like where I lived, I had a lot of space to grow. And I started to grow, I would say maybe like about 30% of the herbs that I put into my organic herbal tea blends or my body care products and things like that. So I started to grow them. And where in the region that I live, in the city that I live, there is a place known for growing organic plants, healthy herbs and vegetables and things like this. So I was getting my things from there to grow. So I was kind of like becoming a regular because I was growing a lot. And I started to think about ways that I can infuse my business with more money, like extra money, so that, because everything I was making from the business, I was putting back into the business. But I didn't have like another job. I was full-time in my business. And I was like, if I could get like a part-time job, then I can infuse my business with more money in an effort to grow my business. That was my thought process. And so when I thought about that place where I was buying plants to grow, seedlings to grow, was the first place that came to mind. So I was like, if I were to get a job, then, maybe that could be the type of work that I do. And long story short, I got the job with them as a seasonal worker. So that's a part-time, seasonal, one and done, boom. While I was there, I met so many great people, some who I'm friends with still to this day. And I just really liked the organization. I just really liked it. I didn't expect to like it so much. And so when that time was over, I made it very clear that I wanted more from the organization. So I liked it so much that I wanted to stay. So at the very same time, oh wait, let me back up. I was also teaching for the organization. Like, I would come in to do a workshop, a couple of workshops here and there about herbalism, and then they have a youth program, and I taught some of the youth about herbalism. This was while I was in the time period that I was being a part-time employee there. So I got to know several different people. So I felt the way that I did, like I wanted to still be a part of the organization beyond something part-time. And at the same time, my predecessor, whose job I then took, was leaving. And he was like, you teach really well. Like, I think that you would be good in this role. His role was more than teaching, but he's like, I think that you would be really good in this role. And so we started having conversations back and forth, and then it boiled down. There was a lot of things in between there, and obviously I submitted my resume. He left, so there was an opening, and so basically I got ushered into his space. They didn't even post the job yet until they didn't need to post the job because I moved into the job. And so I was like, okay, so I can do this. I can run my business and I can also work for this place because it's not soul sucking. It's great. I did move to full-time salary position, so it was taking up more of my time, but I was able to balance my business and it. If anybody is watching who works in the nonprofit industry, then you understand that your job role and your responsibilities of your job, it depends on the size of the organization that you work in, but your responsibilities can go far beyond what is in your job description. So as time went on, things in my job description like piled up, things shifted, my team dynamic shifted, we got a new director, and all these different things happened over the course of my tenure in this place, which is absolutely fine. It happens all the time in a lot of different organizations, a lot of different companies, right? No big deal. But while all these things were happening, I'm still running a business and things have shifted. What I stopped doing was selling real estate. But I still had my herbal apothecary and I'm still teaching in other places and still doing all types of things. And I just think that over time, it started to become too much. Like everybody started to get on my nerves, you know what I mean? Like my director, my co-workers, except for, people like that I'm cool with. But yeah, like it started to become an issue for me. And I felt it last year. I had, some things that went on and, like I said before, I really loved the job. I loved the benefits that came along with it. I loved the pay that I had and all these kind of things. I was able to accomplish a lot during my time there. I was able to amass a lot during my time there. Education, information. I was able to give a lot during my time there. So I think that, I had just, like I said, got to a point to where I could no longer fit in the box. Like I started to resent having a supervisor. I started to resent having a director because, and this is something that I explained to the executive director at the organization that I'm no longer with, that I got fired from, is that when you are in your real life a boss, right? And when you are in your real life doing your own thing and you are bossing your life and handling your business, the flipping of the hats becomes tiring. Like, okay, I'm not a boss, I'm an employee now. I'm a boss, I'm an employee. That gets played out. And then, like I said before, I hit a big age and I couldn't tolerate a lot of stuff. Like family, friends, like I think it's still cutting season in my life. Like shit is getting cut out. Like I just don't have the patience, the tolerance, the desire anymore for a lot of things and a lot of people. So that started to become like more evident to me. And last year I felt it and I said, okay, it's time, to start plotting, that thing. But the thing about the stage that I'm in right now is that I feel very fearless. Like I have made some very major decisions in my life that younger me would have been very afraid to make, thinking of all the, well, what's going to happen with this? What's this, no, can't do it, boo. I make a decision and I move in that direction. I have lived so many lives in this lifetime that I can't be convinced that I won't be okay. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be convinced that things are not going to work out for me, because they do time and time and time again. And I totally am sold out on the fact that things will work out for me. I just am at this space of fearlessness and being home over these last couple of days, and not just like the action of being home, but not having to check my email like every 5 minutes and check my phone every 5 minutes has settled my nervous system in a way that my yoga and breath work and somatic movements take some time to do. I like I can feel my nervous system resetting. Like I can feel ease coming back into my body. I even look at my home differently. It's not like a place that I am in and out of, but like I'm in it, you know, like I'm chilling, I'm lounging. Like I forgot how comfortable things can be at home. And so I'm just basking in that. I'm basking in what my life is like right now, who I am right now, what I am experiencing right now, and what I am moving toward. I'm not paying attention to what I'm moving away from. I'm paying attention to what I'm moving forward to. And it feels really good, and my nervous system is getting the safety signal, like it's okay here, we love it here, we're going to branch out from here. Because one thing that I came to realize a long time ago is that it's okay to want more. Like, we're allowed to want more. You are allowed to want more. Different, new. You're allowed to want that. You're allowed to make a decision, switch directions, pivot, and move on to the next thing. And at my age, that's something that I think a lot of people my age are fearful to do. Like I was talking to my sister some months ago, and she really wants to go into business for herself and leave her job. And she's been at that job for something like 25 years, like no bullshit, like 25 years. I've never been one of those people. And big up to all of you who have been at a job 20, 25, 30 years. Like, I'm really happy for you, but I could never be happy doing the same thing for that long. That's just not who I am. But she was talking about how she wants to go out on her own, but she's nervous to do so. And I get it, right? Leaving the security and all that, especially at our age. But in a lot of ways, I feel like this is the time at this age. Like, I feel like this is a new beginning, not the time to get more comfortable or get complacent. At least not for me. I feel like I'm making new decisions, moving in new directions, and it feels good. And how I know that it is working, because my body is giving me feedback. My body is giving me feedback. My nervous system is giving me feedback. My heart rate, the way that I am breathing, the way that I'm being, like, I get to take moments. And I'm not saying that my job was so high powered and super busy, but I was very, very busy. It smells the rain. So the last thing that I want to say is that check in with your body. Get to tap into and understand your intuition so that you can move beyond fear. A long time ago, when I was like in my 20s, so important to me to learn what my intuition was saying versus what my brain or my mind was telling me. Sometimes now in my life, more than not, they align, but they don't always align. And you need to be able to distinguish between what is your intuition and what are your thoughts and your feelings. And I feel like my intuition has guided me for many, many years. Like I said, to the point to where I can't be fearful about what will be the outcome of my life. I'm a very lucky girl. Things happen for me fairly easily. The only time they don't is when I'm linked up to somebody else's shit. If it's just me and my decisions, it's going to work out. So, and I attribute a lot of that to trusting my intuition. You can't You can't think, I'm not going to do XYZ without having a full plan. Definitely have an outline. Know in the direction that you want to go, but sometimes you're not going to know how things are going to unfold until you actually start moving in that particular direction. And that's just the way that it is. And what can help you to be less fearful to do that and trust that is to understand your intuition, because you have the answers. Like, you have the answers. I don't know, a lot of people want to look outside of themselves for the answer. They want to look up in the sky for the answers. They think somebody's up there, but you have the answers inside. You just have to trust yourself. You have to, and here's a practice. Here's one way that you can do that. Literally ask a question out loud, like, to get to my destination, should I turn left or should I turn right? And just quiet yourself and listen. When the answer comes, listen deeper. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, there is a knowing and then there is an inner knowing. You have to learn to distinguish between the two. And that's just practice. Practice will help you to get there. So I'm going to leave you with that. On the next video, I really want to talk about work friends. Work friends that have transitioned to friends, and what happens when you don't work with them no more. I'm meeting a friend tomorrow who is a friend from work. I always call her my work bestie. And I don't know. I mean, we usually get together. We get together, you know, here and there. And so this is just another time that we would have been getting together, but things are different now because of my situation. And I know that we're going to be talking about that. But so I will have a lot to say about co-worker friends vibes after the fire. But what do you think about what I'm saying about intuition, about trusting your intuition and knowing your intuition? You got to know it. You got to hear it before you can trust it. So let me know what you think about that. Do you struggle to understand your intuition, or to be able to hear the voice of your intuition, trust your gut versus what your brain is telling you? And we can talk about that the next time. But here I am, day 3, showing up. I'm committed. And I will see you tomorrow. If you like this, if you want to follow my journey after getting fired. What did I say? Flourishing after fired or something. Fired and flourishing. Something like that I said yesterday. But if you want to stick around for that, how this is going to play out, what this evolution looks like. Yeah, so if you want to follow along on this journey from fire to flourishing, stick around. There's a lot more to come. I'm posting every day. So, but let me know. Do you know what your intuition is? Do you trust it? Do you follow it? Do you not? Have you been fired before? Have you been blindsided? All of the things. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.